Hi, folks. This is Rick Emmett of Triumph.
This is Mark Merrill, also known as Johnny B. Bad.
Hi, this is a best-selling author. I threw the best-selling in there. Best-selling author Dick Wybrow.
I'm Melanie from Second Shooter.
This is Jeff with Second Shooter.
Hey everybody, it's Brian Allen from Bridges Ablaze.
Hey, this is Sammy Lee, drummer of the band Red Rain.
Yo guys, it's Mark McKay.
Hey, this is Frank Fletcher.
Hola amigos, this is Billy Sheehan.
Hey guys, this is John Karabi.
What's up everybody, it's Logan from All the Pretty Things.
Hey guys, it's Leva Leone.
What's up guys, Casandra Carson here from Paralandra and the Life Project.
This is Kathy from Music and More Records.
My name's Reggie and you are listening to the Weekly Pour podcast. Thanks so much for joining the most amazing twosome out there.
It's time once again for the Weekly Pour, the show that knows everything about absolutely nothing. Here are your hosts, TBT and Ace.
That's us. I'm TBT. That guy over there is Ace. I just figured something out. This intro that we do, what is it? 30 seconds, 45 seconds, a minute, something like that.
Okay.
I just really paid attention to the fact that it says at the end that we know everything about absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
You know how true that is?
It's very true.
It's very true.
Very.
It's disturbing.
That's a mantra of mine.
Yeah. I like Montrose as well. What?
A mantra.
It's what he said.
Words,
don't use big words with me. Okay. Welcome, everybody. We are the Weekly Pour Podcast. This is episode 106. If you're watching this live, you are either on YouTube or Facebook, of course, because that's the only place that goes live because everybody else sucks. If you are watching live, join the chat. Primary chat is on YouTube. Of course, we do get stuff off of Facebook too. So jump in there, say hi. Be sure to hit the thumbs up or the like button wherever you are. And if you're in the chat right now, which is already getting full, Mrs. TBT, Mrs. Ace, Mama TBT, look at that. Lil TBT's in there tonight. And of course, you got to leave it to moderator Natalie to be one of the last people to join, or at least within the first few minutes. So welcome. Pull up a chair. Pull up a stool. Is your hand wrapped?
Yes.
What'd you do? Do I even want to know?
I didn't punch anything. I didn't hit anything.
Okay. You just threw off the whole show. You held up your wrist and I seen it.
I had surgery.
Hey, you know what?
Yeah.
You're wearing an Ace bandage.
I am.
Wow. Oh, that's funny. That's good. I'm ending the show on that.
Carpal tunnel surgery today.
I've never met him.
I don't know what it is.
Is that like Johnny Fever surgery?
I didn't know.
Oh.
I didn't know that carp could dig a tunnel in my wrist.
And when did you go fishing?
Right. Never.
I'm confused.
Well, that's okay. You don't have to know. You just have to trust the doctors.
Good call. Good call.
Trust the doctors.
All right. So Ace has fish hand and had fish surgery. So that's good.
I'm still drying my keyboard.
Yeah. So right before we went on the show, Ace had a little mishap and spilled an entire gallon of water on his keyboard.
Not a gallon.
It should have been. It was close enough. Because you've been wiping it up for like 20 minutes now.
That stuff goes everywhere.
It's liquid. It's, of course.
It's like, can you pop the numbers out of an iPad keyboard?
Isn't it one of those rubber ones?
Yeah, and I think I'm going to have to soak it in a bag of rice or something.
I put it in the dryer. You have an air fryer?
Yes.
Hey, just throw it in there. It'll be fine.
It works for everything.
As a matter of fact, video it when you do it.
To see what happens?
Yeah, pretty much.
See me melt a $1,300 iPad?
Yeah. Well, just the keyboard.
Oh, just the keyboard.
Yeah.
Those are like $500 themselves.
Well, claim it on insurance. Flood.
Apple, great products, but man, they're expensive.
Yeah. Exactly.
Like capitalism.
Right. Real quick, not to start off somber or a quarter of the way somber, but I wanted to give a shout out to Kathy. Kathy lost a member of her family over the past week. She may or may not be on this evening, but we want to give our condolences to her from everybody listening and all that. Kathy's been a huge supporter of us. If you're watching, you can actually see we put her logo down at the bottom of the screen here, just because she supports us. We want to support her, and we'd of course want to put out some condolences and wish her nothing but the best. Good vibes. So send your good vibes Kathy's way. And her store is also having a sale. So if you're looking for something, get in touch with her and get it from her.
Please.
Yeah. Natalie wanted to know if you've hit your deductible. And if you have, what else are you getting done this year?
The other hand.
You went fishing twice?
I will, yeah.
That's weird.
This one's not as severe as this one. This one was a little more severe. So there was nerve damage.
It's what happens when you switch hands.
Well, yeah, I guess. And one is weaker than the other.
Okay, Popeye.
I'm left-handed.
Right, but you got your right one fixed first.
Right, because I switched hands.
Oh, where are we going with this?
I don't know.
Oh, goodness gracious. Natalie's just full of freaking words. Also want to send a nice little shout out to Nat McF because she's in. We got two Natalies, but she changed her name from last week. Now she's just Nat McF.
I want to know, when was your actual birthday?
What?
When was your actual birthday?
The 27th.
Okay, because we had the get together this weekend at
your
Garage Mahal.
Yeah, which I knew nothing about.
No, you weren't supposed to.
You want to know something though? Somebody almost ruined it.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
How?
Because when I got done with the podcast last week, I'm talking to my friend Ace. And we go chit-chatting and talking, and we get done, because we probably stay on here 10, 15 minutes afterwards talking about other stuff. Well, right at the end, when you're getting ready to jump off, you're like, all right, man, I'll chat with you later. Oh, see you Saturday. And that was it. I didn't think anything of it. I was like, okay, he's already drunk. And got off of it. I never thought another thing about it until Saturday night. And I was like, wait a minute. He literally said, see you Saturday.
I thought I said something.
See, you did.
I thought I did.
Yeah, but that's okay. I was so dumb that I didn't realize it.
Yeah, I thought, I wasn't sure. In hindsight, I couldn't remember what I said, but yeah. I thought I did spill the beans a little bit.
You did, but that's okay. It's not like I caught on. But anyway, yeah, it was great. Very surprised. To give you a little bit of a background, my wife, Mrs. TBT, never, and I use the term never strongly, is never able usually to pull one over on me in the 20 plus years that we've been together. Because I like to, is it wrong to just say I like to be in control? I like to know what's going on.
You like things planned out and
yeah,
no surprises.
Right. She got me. So it was her. There was, all of our friends. There was my mother and little TBT. So Mama TBT shows up at my house. I'm trying to get people out of here because we're going to her house. And she pulls up the driveway. And I'm like, what are you doing here? And she said, well, I'm here to see little TBT. Because, she showed up on Friday. And I was like, okay, didn't think nothing about it. Sure, show up to my house. And then more people showed up. And I'm like, this is way too many people at my house. Leave.
And then more people.
And more people. And more. So much that it was like, get out of my house and go to the Garage Mahal. And then it finally hit me. And I said, that's pretty good. So yeah, I was got.
Yeah. I wish I brought my wife just because I want her to see your house because of all the unique wood grained wall and everything, all the wood, all the wood stuff.
Yeah,
because it's all wood.
Show her all the wood.
Most of the wood.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Because then you'd have to switch hands again. What?
Because TBT's house is beautiful. It's very unique. It's beautiful, and it's really cool.
Yeah, I like it.
Good, because you
except for my driveway, because I don't like gravel. Because in the summertime, grass likes to come up in the gravel.
Yes,
it irritates me. Oh, guess who we're sponsored by now?
Who?
Not really.
When did that happen?
It didn't. I just wanted to do what Ozzy said not to do and snort it.
It's pretty good though.
It just tastes like water.
Explain to me what is the deal with it? It's in cans. Why?
I don't know.
Does it have all the things in it like B12 and or is it just water?
No, look, listen. So this is what the can says. This infinitely recyclable can of stone cold mountain water clawed its way from deep inside the earth to murder your thirst. That's it. There's other stuff on here, but I don't know. But look, let me show you something. Can you see it?
Yeah, yeah.
It just says mountain water, still drinking water. It's literally water.
It's
tan.
It's very good marketing.
It is, but I thought water only came in cans if there was, number one, a hurricane or a war. You know, and the MRE would have a bottle or a can of water. Some back in the day. Budweiser.
I don't know. I've never been in.
After Hurricane Katrina, Budweiser stopped making beer and made water. Well, they canned water. It's not like they made it, but yeah, whatever. I don't know. It's good. Is it good? It tastes like water. They do have other products, but this is water.
Fine.
Yeah. Natalie says it's because they're reducing plastic, and Nat McCuff says no plastic. So it's got to be a plastic thing.
Okay.
I don't know. You know what's not a plastic thing? Hair.
What?
Hair.
Why are we what now? What are we talking about now?
Well, I'm just talking about in general, just hair, because you know we talk a lot about hair bands, and you know one of my favorites is Poison.
Yes, you love Poison.
Yeah. So in March, there was an announcement by I think Bret Michaels that said 2025 Poison's going back out on tour after the success of the stadium tour that they did with Def Leppard and Motley Crue and Joan Jett.
Right. That was March 4th.
Yeah.
So March 4th, Bret Michaels makes this big announcement.
Big. Said plan on it. You know, you pretty much just set your watch. Yep, it's going to happen 2025. Well, but then today, somebody who I won't name, but it rhymes with Ricky Rocket, drummer for Poison, says that Bret Michaels is no longer interested in touring with Poison next year.
Okay, so why is he telling us this?
I don't know. Well, I guess somebody asked him multiple times, why isn't Poison touring in 2025 now? Like apparently somebody knew or they knew or whatever. And his response was, Bret doesn't want to.
Right. And that's not shocking because, you know, this is Bret's gig and he determines when they do anything. I think there's a bit of frustration too among the rest of the band because they sit around waiting on Bret to tell them when they can tour.
But to me, it is surprising. I get that Bret Michaels is doing his, you know, his solo thing, the Party Girl tour, worst name for a tour ever,
which is doing well.
Numerous special guests, Dee Snider. I mean, there's a lot, but can you not look at the success of that stadium tour, listen to the fans, and be like, you know what? Let's get Poison out one more, even if it's just one more time. One more time. This was a post that I think Ricky put on Instagram or something. I don't remember where it was, but it just put on there. I get asked dozens of times. I keep getting asked multiple times a day, why isn't Poison touring in 2025 now? Simple answer. Brett doesn't want to.
Right.
That hurts my feelings.
It hurts your feelings?
Yeah. And every other Poison fan, because it makes me not want to be a Bret Michaels fan.
We talked about this earlier today too, because this would be a huge tour, especially in the summer.
Oh yeah.
I can't remember when they were talking about doing it. I think he said fall, didn't he? Did he say fall?
I don't know.
But regardless, it would be a big tour. And then we started speculating about who could open for them. You know, you'd have a couple bands open, and Poison, by far, on that stadium tour, was the band that performed consistently better than everyone else.
Right.
And got rave reviews, and it just makes you want more. And we have an opportunity to get more, but someone's throwing a wrench in it.
Could you, I mean, think about the tour we had this year with Creed, Three Doors Down, and whoever else, whether it be Finger 11 or Daughtry or whoever, you know, that they had Mammoth, Wolfgang on that tour. Could you imagine a Poison headline tour with, like, I don't know, bring back some of the other bands, bring back your Skid Row, your Warrant, even your Firehouse, or Great White, you know, new singers, but, you know, Faster Pussycat. There's so many different ones from that era that you could bill it, you know, as whatever, you know, Hair Gone Wild, Hairspray.
Because here's the thing. The bands you mentioned, a lot of them are doing the theater circuit, the small club circuit. They're not opening stadiums. And this was Bret Michaels was talking about a stadium tour. Yeah. So you could put those bands in a spot where they're playing in stadiums again. And I think it would work. I think it would. If Rat could get their act together, they could really, really do good business.
Yeah, get Stephen Pearcy out there. Heck, do it with, I don't know, Steel Panther.
Tesla. Tesla's always touring.
And Tesla opened for Poison in '88 on the Open Up and Say All tour. So there you go.
Right. So there's so much potential.
Yeah.
So why he doesn't want to do it, we don't get a lot of answers other than he doesn't want to do it.
Yeah. We need to book this. We need to make this happen.
Well, if you've got the power to do that,
I'm going to pull some strings. It probably will not help, but yeah. I don't know. It's irritating because I want to see them perform one more time. I didn't get to see them on the last tour with Crue and Def Leppard, but I want to see them. I want to see them as the headline because their shows are always energetic. They're always just, you know, just it's loud. It's Poison.
You know, and I don't recall hearing about any drama from that Motley Crue tour that they opened on. I don't recall hearing about any problems with anything. No. Granted, all these guys have known each other so long that, you know, maybe they don't want to spend too much time together, but they've been apart for a while now.
Right.
You know, that tour ended a while back. So I don't see any reason they couldn't amp it up. But if Bret doesn't want to, it's not going to happen. It's not.
It's irritating when, and this is not a bash on Motley Crue at all, but it's irritating when a band like Motley Crue goes through all the turmoil that follows them every single tour, and especially the past, we'll go 2 years between Vincent's vocals and then, you know, Mick Mars' departure with John 5 coming in, but yet Motley, they're still out there. They're doing their thing. They're making plans for, October, and they're going back to LA. And where's Bret Michaels? On a beach somewhere, filming a TikTok, getting ready to do another Party Girl event.
Right. And the thing is, Poison's not broke up. It's always just a hiatus until the next time.
Yeah.
But the other guys in the band, it's not like they're sitting around with side projects.
Right.
Not that I know of.
Can you run out of hiatus?
Bands these days, people in bands these days, have numerous side projects that keep them busy all the time. Mark Tremonti would be a good example of that. He's in, he's got 4 things he's juggling. With his Sinatra act, his solo band, Alter Bridge, and now Creed back.
Yeah.
So these guys are always busy. They're always busy, but not guys like Poison. They grew up in that era where if you tried to do something different, that was almost tantamount to treason.
Yeah.
So maybe they're just so old school, they're just going to wait. But how long do you wait? They're all in their 60s. Yeah, I mean, they can't do this forever.
No.
Unless you're Hagar or, Rob Halford or someone like that.
Or you're Kiss and you're just going to turn everything AI.
Right.
I don't know. I just mentioned it a while ago, but I wasn't joking when I said that Motley Crue is going out in October, and they're doing a tour of all of the iconic Los Angeles clubs, and they're calling it the Hollywood Takeover. This is going to be October 7th, 9th, and 11th, where they will be at the iconic Troubadour, the Roxy, and the Whisky A Go Go. The one time I wished I lived in LA, because I tried to catch every one of those. Their tickets are going to be sold exclusively at the box offices of those 3 clubs, and they're sold as hard tickets only, and you're limited to 2 tickets per person. Not a huge venue, none of those. You got to remember, these are clubs. This is where a lot of these bands started, and the whole LA scene, all these bands going to all these clubs to get recognition.
Right.
And they're going back to it. So I don't know, maybe
and
we should go to LA in a couple months, next month.
This is their way of paying back to those clubs that helped launch their career, because Motley Crue is highly recognized as one of the first band to get signed out of the LA scene when they got signed, because that was 81, I think. So that scene was just starting to get established, and everyone's flocking to Los Angeles and playing the Roxy and playing the Starwood, which is no longer there, and the Troubadour. And so this is their way of paying back to those club owners, and paying homage to that scene.
Well, you just got kicked out of going. Because apparently that's the same time you're going to be in New York.
I will. If you didn't see, Kathy's in the chat. She just joined in a little bit ago.
Welcome, Kathy. Glad you can make it. This 7th, 7th, 9th, and 11th, this is going to follow the release of their canceled EP, which does come out October 4th. Dogs of War, already been released. Fight for Your Right, which is the Beastie Boys cover that I made a comment to you about, and Canceled is the title track. That's still yet to be released, but yeah, not a big fan. I'll just put it out there. Not a fan.
Of Fight for Your Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Dogs of War was different and original.
Sure.
You kind of have to get used to that.
Yeah.
But yeah, the cover of the Beastie Boys song fits the spirit of what Motley Crue used to be.
Sure.
I don't know so much now, but either way, it's just not a good cover.
I don't think so. I think the way I put it to you was, it was would skip it if it was on an album, and I'm okay if I never hear it again.
Right.
It's just how I feel. Nothing against Crue. It's just, I think it sucks.
Well, there's no rule that you have to like everything a band does, and
No.
it doesn't mean you don't like the band.
Right.
I don't like White Lion's cover of Radar Love. I think it's horrible.
And I love it.
I hate Purple Haze. Winger covered that. I hate it.
Not so good.
You know, but I like the rest of those records.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Tying into the events on the Sunset Strip in October, Motley Crue is also introducing its new philanthropic endeavor, the Motley Crue Give Back Initiative, a moniker under which the band will partner with different nonprofit organizations near and dear to their hearts moving forward. They're putting up a pair of coveted tickets to the Troubadour Club, that show on October 7th for auction, so people can go on and bid on those. I might jump on there just to see what those are going for. Let me see if I can get that now. They're also doing a pop-up store with exclusive merchandise October 6th, and then I think one on the 12th, which is interesting because there's a lot of bands that are starting to do those things now. It's a big thing for Metallica. Actually, it's even a big thing for Taylor Swift. Hours before the concert, my understanding, you can go and get your merch, and Metallica's doing these pop-up stores where you can just get all kinds of stuff Metallica, your lunch boxes, your water, your microphones.
Are these outside the venue or inside the venue or?
Yeah, outside. Like, I think some of Metallica's, have actually been across town. It'd be a different place altogether. Maybe a day or two even before the show.
Okay. That is interesting for the Swifties because so many of them gather in the parking lot and tailgate, basically.
Right. They tailor-gate.
Yeah, they tailor-gate. So if you had a pop-up store out there and you're a Taylor Swift fan, you could turn over some huge business and merch.
Oh, yeah. Easily.
So
I just went to that Motley Crue auction. 2 tickets to Motley Crue's exclusive Hollywood Takeover Club show at the Troubadour in LA on October 7th. And there are 15 current bids. It's estimated to go at $1,000.
Okay.
It's currently at $525. Give me just a second here. It is now at $526. Not really.
Did you put a bid in?
No.
Did you do that?
No. Mama TBT and Mrs. TBT would kick my butt. Because then I'd have to buy tickets to go to LA.
True.
Can't be transferred. You cannot resell them or auction them off. It looks like the minimum bid increment is $100. So the next minimum bid is $625.
So what's cool about this whole Troubadour tour is that, to me, that they're doing something kind of innovative for them. You just talked about the tent, but the tent's not necessarily a new thing, but not everyone is doing it. The pop-up merch type thing.
Right.
An EP. Typically, they don't release EPs. Motley Crue's a band that puts out studio records. So there's 2 things that are interesting. And then this little tour itself, where we're, celebrating the LA club scene. That's kind of unique. They could easily just jump out and do another big tour. But why? They've already been on the road, since, 2015?
Yeah, at least.
So, yeah, this is neat and kind of intimate and innovative, and I kind of like it.
Yeah, the comment in the chat says that Taylor Swift had her merch bus out for a couple days before the show. And I guarantee that it was a stupid amount of stuff sold. And lines. I've seen lines. There's videos of the lines. Outrageous. Can you imagine?
Right. I wonder if it's, in her case, would it be anything you couldn't get in the venue?
Oh, probably.
Something kind of neat and exclusive just to that, that tour bus or that merch bus.
Yeah, maybe. I would say that it's also a way to keep people, you and I have been to plenty of shows. You know how long the lines can get at your merch booth. Why not open it up a couple days early before your show, let your people get your stuff, and then they can wear that stuff to the show. You're not carrying anything but, 500 freaking bracelets that you've traded with everybody that's there. So I think it makes perfect sense. It's a good thing. We should do that next time we do a pop-up store for the Weekly Pour podcast. We'll do ours a couple days before the next show so everybody can wear their stuff.
Right, for all our merch.
Yeah. Keychains, stickers. Shout out to your daughter, by the way, for throwing one of our stickers up on stage at the Sammy Hagar concert.
Yeah, you gave her that stack to pass around. She had one left.
She was supposed to take those to school.
No, she was passing them out to everyone in the crowd.
Even better. Even better.
So she had one left, and I'm like, this is during the big rain break,
right?
That we had, and the stoppage. And I told her to go down there and try to get one close and get to the stage. She said, I don't know if I can get down there. I'm like, you can get down there.
Yeah.
And it was not a problem.
No.
It was not a problem. And she found some nice security guard close to the stage that slid it up there for her. And
well, hopefully Sammy didn't grab it, sign it, and then throw it back in the crowd.
He may have.
I'm going to be pissed off if I end up seeing this on eBay, one of our signed stickers for $400. Actually, I won't. I'll take a snapshot of it and we'll put it all over our social media and then we'll sue.
Yeah, and then we won't get the money.
Exactly. Speaking of Tiny Ace, yes, perfect. Tiny Ace. That's excellent. Yeah, I'm gonna have to order more stickers. Man, I should really get some shirts. Nah, stickers are cheaper. Anyway, yeah. So some other big news from one of our I almost call her a regular, but our friend Casandra Carson. She is currently involved with her new musical alliance with her and George Lynch. They just released today a new single called Impatient. This is a track that is taken from what they're calling Cassandra's Crossing, their debut album Garden of Earthly Delights, which will arrive next month on the 25th of October. And this is the second track to be released. And I listened to it before we went on the air, actually before we got hooked up tonight.
Yeah, so did I.
Man, is it good?
It's excellent. It's better than the first single. The first single was really good.
Yeah, exactly.
It's heavy. Cassandra's vocals on it are just amazing. Yeah. Just amazing. And George, of course, has a really good guitar solo on it. The whole thing's just really, really good.
Yeah,
we'll post it so you can hear it.
Absolutely. There was a recent interview where Cassandra said, never in my wildest dreams did I think I would ever meet, let alone collaborate, with such a legend as George Lynch. It was an absolute honor and pleasure to work with him on this record. George's tracks were so cool and inspiring. It was probably some of the most fun I've ever had writing lyrics and melodies. I truly couldn't be more proud of this album, and I'm so excited to finally share it with the rest of the world. Again, it's called Garden of Earthly Delights. And man, it's going to be good. I can't wait. It's 11 tracks. We've got 2 already. Let me see. 11 tracks. Stranger, Impatient, which was the one released today. Closer to Heaven, Ring Me Around, Devastating Times, Waltzing Nights, Just Business, Mind Eraser, Run for Your Life, Wicked Woman, and Kneel Before You. Man, this is one of those classic times where you hear, 2 tracks already. The first one released, banger. The second one released, banger. if it's going to continue that way, man.
Well, and I like what she says there because, she didn't know she would ever get to this point in her career that she would meet someone like George and collaborate with him. But it goes to show that once you're in the business, you never know where that road will lead. I mean, she probably didn't know that she would be doing anything with the Life Project and how that worked out. And,
right.
you know, and then now she's collaborating with George Lynch. I feel like she's going to be one of those vocalists that is going to be in demand to duet with someone or collaborate or be on a record or something consistently. You know, I mean, it's almost obligatory for Lizzie Hale to do it for, you know, I don't know, anybody.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I mean, she's on so many records and collaborating. It's probably hard for her to keep up with it all.
Yeah.
But I feel like Casandra, the same thing.
And what's cool, one of the things I think about a lot is we've had Casandra on twice. And there's always something, you know, something brewing, something going on, something she can't really say a whole lot about. Last time we had her on, it was just, you know, after the recent release of Paralandra's sophomore album. It was awesome, you know, talking about the videos and all the stuff that they did and working with Elvis. You know, it was crazy. And then there's this, you know, she did, if I'm not mistaken, she mentioned something about some Life Project stuff going on.
Right. And there had been some delay, you know, in there, but it should be coming out soon. But she mentioned this whole George Lynch thing in our interview.
Right.
Because she had met him at one of the larger rock gatherings and got paired up with him as a driver, driving George Lynch around.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I can think of a worse time to have. And now here they are collaborating and putting an album out.
Yeah, and a very good one.
Yeah, and just to plug it a little bit more, it's classic George Lynch. You know, it's his sound. You hear it, and you're like, "Hey, I recognize that." You know, especially if you paid attention to George Lynch or the Lynch Mob or, you know, Sweet and Lynch or Dokken. You know, whatever. It's definitely him. And then you just named off everything that George Lynch has been in. And then you get to Casandra Carson, and I mean, I forgot one, didn't I?
Yes, you did. Was it Ghost in the Machine?
Ah, okay. All right. But as I was saying, and you pair that with Cassandra's vocals, she just gets better and better.
I think so. And I think the vocal on that song that got put out today,
yeah,
it may be the best one I've heard outside of The Nothingness, which is a Life Project song I play for everybody to show off her voice. I think it's stellar. I think she gets better every time I hear her.
Absolutely. It's kind of like us. You know, we sound better each and every week. You know, we're old. We don't have a choice. We're constantly drinking through it. But her voice is just, it's kicking ass.
Yeah.
So we'll post that on our social. I say our social. We'll post it on Facebook. So make sure you're following it. Like it. Comment on it. So that we know that you've watched it and you like it. You know, put some stuff on there. Because I will tell you, Casandra, the band Paralandra, her father, they follow us. And they pay attention to stuff like that. You know, they like to see that interaction with fans and with interaction with you know, podcasts or interviews or stuff where they're mentioned. They appreciate that. So throw that out there and give them some kudos. Okay. Another new album that's coming out that'll actually be out on Friday. So 3 days from this taping, this live taping in front of a studio audience, Striper. Their new one comes out this Friday. That'll be should be good. They've not disappointed me yet. And
we've heard how many singles from that one?
2 or 3.
Yeah.
I had it pulled up earlier, but I lost it. So I think it was because I went fishing too. Natalie, I'm just gonna throw this out there. Look at that. Look at that shiny sticker. Shiny sticker.
The original stickers are collector's items now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because they're so rare.
Yeah, because I don't even know if I've got one. Actually, I do. It's stuck right over there on the bar. But these, look at that. You need one. I can't believe you don't have one. Man.
Who made that cool graphic?
I don't know, but if, you know, here's the thing. If she would show up to functions,
I mean,
she'd probably get one or two. I
that
mean,
is
for five.
that's a nice design. She's right.
It is. Yeah. I mean, it's everything we could have asked for. Huh. Oh well. What did I talk about? I just talked about Stryper with their new album. Before we get into the big story, I just want to let you know, Dave Grohl, shame on you.
I got this pulled up. So yeah, this was an odd headline, don't you think?
I don't understand why this is news. I mean, really, I'm just gonna say this. Who gives a shit? I don't care. I just thought it was funny, and I had to mention it because it was out there. Dave Grohl has announced the birth of a new baby girl. His wife was not happy. You laugh, but it's true. Dave Grohl announced the birth of a child outside of his marriage, baby girl, in a statement that you cannot comment on because the comments were turned off. Dave states, "I've recently become the father of a new baby daughter born outside of my marriage. I plan to be a loving and supportive parent to her. I love my wife and my children. I'm doing everything I can to regain their trust and earn their forgiveness. We're grateful for your consideration toward all of the children involved as we move forward." Him and his wife have been married since 2003. He was married once before to Jennifer. That ended after 3 years, I think, in 1997 because of essentially the same thing, minus a child.
Admitted infidelities.
Yeah. Why is this a headline?
Why? Well, it's interesting in the sense that he is being so open about it.
I agree.
So many people don't air their dirty laundry. I mean, like, movie stars or politicians or musicians. We don't air the dirty laundry per se until the biography comes out.
Yeah, 30 years later.
30 years later. But,
and you're Mick Jagger and you have 17 children by 33 wives.
Right. So this is a little unusual that he would just be kind of airing it out there and letting us all hear about it. But maybe this is a way for him to, as he says, earn some trust back.
And some forgiveness.
Or what's his wife think of everyone knowing about it?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe she found out this way. I doubt it. But hey, Dave, we support you. Congratulations. You're forgiven.
Well, and he does say he's going to do his best to support the child and that sort of thing. Depending on what that means to him, that could be a good thing if he's there, present, when he can be.
Yeah. He's just not pulling a Rod Stewart, right?
What's a Rod Stewart?
Well, I don't know. I'm just another person that probably has 15 kids.
I don't know that. How do you?
I don't know. I'm just because I'm one of them.
She said maybe stop rumors before they start.
Maybe to stop.
That's why he would be throwing it out there.
Okay. Natalie's so smart when she wants to be.
Yeah. So let's just cut the rumors. Let's cut the bullshit. This is what I did. This is what happened. We're trying to fix it, and go from there.
Yeah.
Here's the one statement. This is the one statement I'm making. That's that.
Yeah. That's it. No more. Well, good. Best wishes to Mr. Grohl, his family, and newborn baby.
Yeah.
You need to do your thumbs up because it throws up all kinds of weird graphics. Oh, but not this time. Fail. Big news.
Yeah.
The biggest news, which is all we could get for like a couple days, has been this whole thing going on with Linkin Park.
It's been huge.
You and I will both readily admit, not huge Linkin Park fans. But the whole thing that's going on revolves kind of in relation to a lot of stuff that we talk about on here anyway, with other bands moving on, I guess, if you will. Linkin Park has announced that they have a brand new vocalist, a new album and tour dates. So
right. So don't waste any time. Let's get it all. Album, singer, tour dates. It's all ready.
Yeah. So everybody knows about Chester Bennington and his untimely death. He was the lead singer of Linkin Park and
primary
songwriter. Well, that pretty much put them in hiatus. Use that word again for a while.
2017 is when Chester passed away.
Yeah.
So it's been at least that long.
But with the release of an upcoming album, this tour, and the announcement of a new singer, they're getting some flack. Some people are loving it. Some people are like, oh my gosh, this is, awesome. This is the best thing that could have happened. While others, which I don't know who these others are, they're hating on him. Well, one of them is Chester Bennington's kid is, basically talking smack, saying that it's a slap in his father's face. I want to get this correct. I don't want to put words in his mouth, but quietly erased his father's life and legacy in real time, not only during a band interview meant to clear the air about certain aspects of Linkin Park's history and future, but during International Suicide Prevention Month. I mean, that's pretty strong.
He called them senile and tone deaf.
Right.
Right. I don't know, and we talked about this earlier, off air. Emily Armstrong is the new singer. So, for one, they opted to get a female singer.
Right.
Which is, in and of itself, really, really interesting for them. And they didn't go after a sound-alike or anything like that. But we talked about why the backlash, because so many bands pick up the pieces and keep going. Some of them don't even wait a week. They don't even wait a week after something happens, and they are already moving on. Like Firehouse.
Yeah. We were sitting here naming off like just a bunch of bands that have continued on with lead singers. Warrant, Janie Lane passed away.
Right.
New singer. Recently, Jack Russell's Great White. Jack Russell passed away. Already have a new singer.
They are continuing on without the namesake.
Firehouse, as we've already mentioned. There's tons of them who's, they don't have the same lead singer. Skid Row, Journey, all that. What is the big deal?
Right, because and this leads me back to Poison, who the guys in Poison are sitting around Ricky Rock and Bobby Dahl and CC DeVille. They're sitting around waiting on Bret Michaels to decide what they get to do. What else were these guys doing in Linkin Park? I don't know Linkin Park that well. I don't know the players that well, but I don't think they were in a bunch of other bands biding their time. Nothing that we know about. So why in the world would you be upset because they want to pick up and do what they love to do?
Right. Is that wrong?
No, and it's ridiculous to think they should have called it something else. That's another problem people have. If you're going to get a different singer, and especially one so different as to get Emily Armstrong, who is a female, why are you calling it Linkin Park? Well, I'll tell you why. You'd be stupid not to.
Yeah.
What's the most marketable name you have at your disposal? Linkin Park.
And for all, in essence, it is Linkin Park. Minus Chester.
Right. And one other person was not touring with them.
Drummer, I think it was. Or they've replaced him, and then the guitarist, I don't think, is going out with them. But he's part of the band still. He's just not touring.
Okay.
So, and he, I'm going to assume, is the one who selected the replacement. but he's getting the tour ready. He's helping with design. He's, helping with music, all that stuff. He just doesn't want to tour. But everybody else does. There's an opportunity. There's someone who can step in. I don't know the ins and outs. We have no idea what's going on in their heads or the arguments that are happening behind closed doors or whatever. None of our business. But if Dave Grohl can come out and say what he said, come out here and tell us why you're bitching that Linkin Park is doing their thing. Fans want it.
Yes, and there are a lot of fans that want this to happen. I've heard nothing but positive response. People just so glad to have Linkin Park back. I don't know if you've heard the new song. I think you did. We talked about that. It's really good. It's really good, and it's got the feel of what they've already done in the past. It's not going to be exactly the same, and it shouldn't. But it's good. It's really good. So I don't know why you wouldn't want them to go out and do their thing, and if they want to, if they survive, or if they thrive, or if they fail, at least they'll know.
Yeah, let them go down in a blaze of glory.
The new single's called "The Emptiness Machine." The album's called "From Zero," coming out November 15th. From Zero, signifying a beginning, a new beginning, which is what they talked about in one of their interviews, and then also paying homage to what the band was called before it was Linkin Park, which was I think Zero with an X or something like that.
Yeah,
I like that. Again, and this may broaden up their fan base even. I mean, they're already huge, but I listen to it, and we just said we're not Linkin Park fans,
but we still listen to it,
and I thought it was good.
And you're going to tell me that the fans aren't happy about this when, according to Linkin Park fan site Linkin Park Live, tickets to the band's September 11th concert, so that's tomorrow, at the Kia Forum. This isn't a club. This isn't Ruoff. This isn't Brown County Music Center with, a capacity of 2,400 people.
Right.
This is the Kia Forum, sold out in less than an hour. And tickets for the September 16th gig at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn. Sold out in a matter of a few minutes.
Right. And those are two huge cities, the two biggest cities in the United States, selling out within minutes. Now, imagine what your rest of your tour is going to be like.
Yeah. The shows will feature Linkin Park performing a 2-hour set in a very rare 360-degree circular setting, allowing for a unique production, and here's the kicker, as well as greater than usual number of tickets to be sold at the venues. So not only did they sell out normal, you're not going to have, they're kind of doing Metallica.
In the round.
Yeah, you're not going to have your stage, in one corner, and then everything in the back's blocked off or where your rig's out and all that. So, you can see 360, sell more tickets.
Sure. Because I think they could.
Yeah.
I just wonder what Emily Armstrong thinks of all of this. Not just the fact that she's the new kid and everyone's got to get used to who she is, but we are selling out venues now, like large venues.
Right.
So she's going from unknown to incredibly visible within microseconds.
Yeah, something that's interesting too is that Linkin Park launched 2 separate pre-sales for members of the official fan club. One for legacy members and one for new members. On the same day, just hours apart, that resulted in 90% of the tickets for the Brooklyn show being sold to fan club members. 90% of whatever the capacity is for that show are from fan club members. What does that tell you?
That people are clamoring for this, and they'll become fans in the fan club just to get good tickets.
Right. I don't know if it's
how big your response is.
Oh, sure. And I don't know if this is, stuff we don't know about or whatever. But Chester Bennington's son being ticked off about the reunion. You know what? Everybody's got issues about everything. I was reading an article, and I think he was ticked off about it, and yet stated he was going to be at one of the shows.
Oh, okay.
Which to me, whatever. You know
Well,
what?
and his stance may soften over time.
Yeah.
You know, this is a lot of stuff happening all at once and very quickly. So, you know, he may give it his blessing in 6 months. Hell, we don't know.
Sure. And you know what? There still may be some animosity there, whatever, but give it a chance. It may work out good. So Emily Armstrong, the new lead singer, she does not come without baggage, as some people are upset at the fact that she's either been involved, still involved, was involved, were involved, will be involved, whatever, with Scientology, and actually spoke highly, I guess, about Danny Masterson, who went to prison for like 30 years for rape. She spoke, I guess, as would you call it a character witness?
Character witness at his trial.
And said that he was a good guy. She has since came out and said, yes, I absolutely did that. However, it was before everything came out. She didn't know all this was going on, allegedly. And if she didn't, and she spoke up and said, hey, the dude's a good guy, he's a friend, blah, 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 only to find out later she can't go back to court and recant everything that she said. She can just put out a statement and be like, hey, I'm sorry. I don't agree with violence towards women, and I had no idea all this stuff happened. I'm sorry, and if I would have known, I'd have never done it. Okay, great. Thank you, Emily. Right. Move on.
She's not the only one that made character statements or testified for him, because a lot of the cast of that 70s show went to court and testified for him because at the time he was their friend.
But she's the only one that's, leading Linkin Park.
Right. But, Ashton Kutcher's a pretty big star. Most of the people in that cast are doing pretty well. And I think they've recanted some of their statements as well. And so, and that's one thing. And then the Scientology thing I don't get, only because I don't even know if she's associated with it anymore. And the biggest Scientologist on the planet, Tom Cruise, he's bulletproof against this stuff.
Yeah, he ran through the Olympics and drove his motorcycle across the ocean to bring the flag back to L.A.
Exactly. So, it doesn't seem to hurt him. So why are we worried about what? I don't know. If she's been involved in Scientology, and so be it. There's a lot of people in Hollywood that are.
Yeah.
So she may have, broke away from that now and moving on. So if that's the case, let's move on.
Exactly. Enjoy the tour. Have fun. Natalie, I don't understand that comment. Oddly enough, to Dave Grohl. Maybe she wasn't talking to us. Maybe she's having a conversation. I don't know. I think that the best way to solve it is to just buy his son or anybody that's complaining, buy him a pair or a drum kit. Just buy him a broken drum kit.
What?
Buy him a broken drum kit, because they just can't be beat.